Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hope you're all having a fantastic day. We're going to go ahead and do a gameplay review of Pixels. Yes, Pixels. This game has been out for some time and is extremely popular. And it's about time I'm getting around to going ahead and doing a gameplay review on this. So what we're going to go ahead and do and cover on this is we're not going to go through the generic tutorial that a lot of people have been covering as their beginner guide portion. We're going to skip that. We're going to go ahead and show you the gameplay itself in case you have not seen it yet, or if you have never even heard of the game. So we'll give you an idea, a feel for the game itself. I'll give you some tips as I'm going through things that really seem to help me as I was a beginner. And we'll go ahead and just really give you my feeling at the end, whether I like it, whether I don't like it, whether I'm going to keep playing it. So those are all the things we're going to go ahead and cover in this video. But before we jump into the video, please take a quick look at this disclaimer. I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. Please make sure you do your own research before you jump into any project. Don't take my word for it. Just make sure it's right for your situation. Before we jump actually into the gameplay itself, I do want to give you a little bit of background about Pixels. Pixels, if you want to go ahead and check out their website, it is pixels.xyz. It is on the Ronin blockchain, the same blockchain that brought us Axie Infinity, is now brought us Pixels, which is their next big smash as far as I'm seeing as popularity on the blockchain. It is a pixel farming game, so it has some similarities to Sunflower Land, but I think it's a step up. And we'll get into all the details as far as the farming, all the things that you can go ahead and do with it. The platform with this one is nice because it is a browser-based platform, and it's also very mobile friendly. I went ahead and I was playing it on mobile the other day, and it worked pretty well. It works better on a browser, but as far as mobile friendly, it works. It does not have an application on the mobile side, at least not that I'm aware of. So you do have to play through the browser on the mobile side also. It is free to play. So if you want to go ahead out there and test it out, you can go ahead and do that. No cost to you. They do have VIPs. You can buy land. You can do all that as an add-on, but you can get the full access to the game free to play. And as far as PvP goes, they don't have PvP quite yet, but I heard it's coming in here in the near future. So let me go ahead and give you a couple caveats before we jump to the website and to the gameplay itself. I've only been playing for about 4 or 5 days now, so understand that I'm still a beginner. I wanted to get enough experience in there that I could talk about it, but also I didn't want to get too far into it, so I could still give you the beginner first thoughts as far as seeing the game itself. So that's why I'm doing it at this point. I want to give you the overview of at least what I'm aware of right now. The other caveat that I wanted to put out there is this is the original version. I hear there is what's called a chapter 2 coming out here shortly. No timetable on that. So who knows, by the time you're watching this, it may already be out. But I wanted to make sure you understand that this is the original version of it. Once chapter 2 comes out, I'll go ahead and do a whole nother gameplay review on the updates that they've done for that. So let's go ahead and jump to the website itself. You can see very pixel-esque. Again, reminds me of some other games out there that are pixel-esque farmers, but you'll see there's quite a bit of difference. You'll see coming soon. You can see right there, chapter 2 coming soon that I just had mentioned. There's all types of things that you can do in the game, farming, industry, there's guilds, there's quests, there's a whole bunch of stuff, and more that's going to be coming soon. They did just introduce pets, which I won't cover in this video because, to be honest with you, I haven't gotten too far into the pets yet. But in the future, I may do a video just strictly on pets. You can go ahead and own land as far as big plots of land. You can go ahead and rent land, or you can go ahead and use other people's land, or you can get a speck of land, which we'll talk about briefly once we jump into the game itself. There's a number of different types of lands. We're not going to dive too far into those as far as this video goes. Just want to give you a brief overview of the website. And as you can see, you can play for free. So let's go ahead and jump into the game. As I mentioned, once you start off the game, there's a tutorial or a quest line that you can go through. Highly encourage you to go ahead and do that because it's going to give you a number of tools that you'll be able to use. Things like your axe, your shears, your watering can, a bunch of seeds, things like that. Things that you're going to need just about every time you play the game. And you go ahead and get those as far as the quest line goes. So you'll be able to see those and how to access and work through that all pretty early in the game. Again, I'm not going to cover that in this overview. You can watch some other videos. It's just kind of boring to go through it. Just give you a quick lay of the land. Right now we are in the middle of the main town that's available. On the left side here, you have your energy, which is going to be incredibly important and probably the biggest limiting factor of the game. You have the in-game token, which I call coins, and then you have pixels, which you can go ahead and pull out of the game and trade and exchange to other blockchains, whatever you want to do with that. Along here, you have your land, which we'll jump in here in a second. Skill tree, there's a huge skill tree that they have going on here. Every single skill that you can imagine within the game, you can go ahead and level up. And as you level up, you're going to go ahead and get different rewards, different bonuses, different things that drop, higher rarity things that drop, different things you can craft. So you can go through and you can focus on each individual skill area. So you understand that the leveling is really based on the skills. There's not an overall level for your actual character itself. So if you like the overall character leveling, that's a bit of a downfall here, but at least you can focus on the skill tree and the different items, which is a lot of fun. It's addicting to kind of work through each of those, and it keeps you kind of hooked and always something new to kind of work through. There's a few other things here that I'm not going to go ahead and cover. Actually, we'll go ahead and just show you the map. This just shows you the area that you're in. It's pretty big. If I keep walking up, there's areas up here and down here, which we'll briefly walk through as we're going through the game itself. On the right side, you have the quest. You have the dashboard, just so you're aware. The dashboard is kind of your out-of-game dashboard, as they say. That's how you get currency in. That's how you connect to different things. And there's even a daily quest in there where you can go ahead and get 100 coins when you're starting out. And on the bottom here is basically your backpack. It's your tools, everything that you have here. Another caveat I wanted to put out there, it is completely free to play. You can go ahead and free to play it. There is a VIP upgrade if you choose to do that, which I ended up doing to get some of the extra perks that go along with it. The two main perks that I see right away is the extra slot in your bag. So free to play only gets 3 rows. VIP gets 4 rows. And then VIP also gets extra energy. Like I said, energy is going to be your bottleneck throughout this game. All right, let's kind of walk through some of these areas. The tutorial is going to take you through quite a bit of it. I wanted to take you up here to a farm plot. One of the biggest concerns that I had when I joined the game, I had trouble finding the farm plots. Through the tutorial, they give you a little farm plot where you can grow a few things and kind of move on there. But then I had trouble. It took me a little while to find them. So I want to make sure that you're all aware. Above the headquarters, there are 4 plots here. And if you keep going up, there's a carnival area where there's a ton of plots where you can just plant a whole bunch of stuff up there. And it's great, especially for beginners. And then you can also use other people's farmland. Not going to quite dive into that as far as this video goes, but maybe I'll do a follow-up of that one so we can kind of go through all the lands and all the benefits of going to the different lands. But I did want to show you what it takes to go ahead and farm, because farming is going to be a big part of the game itself. Pop berries are just going to be the first thing you're really farming. They're nice because they only take a minute to go ahead and grow, and they actually turn quite a bit of coins out of them. So take the seeds and you go ahead to the farm plot and you go ahead and drop those down, and be aware every time you click on this, it uses energy. So we just used 4 energies to plant the seed. Now we have to go through and water it. So we go ahead and through and water. So 4 seeds are now watered. That was 4 more energy to water it. And now if I go ahead and hover over these, you'll see that there's 40 some seconds left to go ahead and grow these out. And then we'll be able to shear those and do what we want with them. You can cook with them, you can craft wine with them, or you can sell them for profit. It's completely up to you how you play the game itself. The one thing I do want to note that just to grow one of these, it takes 3 energy. It takes 1 energy to plant, 1 energy to water, and 1 energy to shear. So understand that that's going to burn through your energy pretty quickly. And we'll talk about energy more here in a second, because again, it is one of the toughest things to maneuver around within the game, at least I've found so far in the early game. So we got a few seconds here. Now that they are going to pop up and you see that they are fully grown, and we're going to go ahead and use our shears and chop them down. And you can see that we grabbed 4 pop berries and we're good to go. One thing I do want to note, and a thing that I was nervous about in game, you see all these people around here, they're all planting also, and I was afraid if I planted something and it grew, someone else is going to snag it, and I was going to lose that. They cannot access your stuff. So if you grow stuff in a public area, you're crafting in a public area, they can't go ahead and grab it from you, so you don't have to worry about that. So let's go up here, and as far as these pop berries, like I said, you can do multiple things with them. I'm going to cook quick, show you how the cooking process works. You go up here to Karen's little oven. You see a bunch of people around here, and they are cooking. I actually went ahead and collected one that I was already cooking. But to cook, you can go ahead and click on that, and you have a bunch of recipes. I'm going to go do the I'm going to do the potberry pie, because we just grabbed those potberries. It's going to take me 24 seconds to craft. It's 10 XP. It's going to cost me 2 potberries, and it's going to cost me 1 cooking mix. Cooking mix you can go ahead and grab in the store, and then you can go ahead and craft it. Like I said, it's going to take me 24 seconds to do this. You can go ahead, and once this is done, you can either eat it for additional energy, which I don't necessarily suggest unless you're desperate, or you can go ahead and sell it for coin. Which I'll probably end up doing, sell it for coin so I can continue to buy seeds and move forward with this. This is actually one of the toughest part and one of the biggest gripes for most players. The time it takes to go ahead and do crafting, go ahead and collect that. It's kind of grindy. It's pretty grindy within the game, especially with cooking. With the other industries, you can go ahead and do bulk, you can do cases, and it's a lot easier to maneuver. For cooking, it takes a while to level up. So what most people suggest is grab a bunch of potberries, grab a bunch of the cooking mix, put on a good movie, work on something on another screen, and just occasionally come here and collect and create and go through the process of that. Because like I said, it does take a while to go ahead and level up that cooking skill. As you continue to level up the cooking skill, more things are available. That will take longer time, so you can go ahead. They'll give you more XP also. So it is a grind, especially in the early game. It's a grind as far as that goes. So understand that's actually one of my biggest frustrations with it, is the grind itself on cooking. Not on the other things, but on cooking. All right, we did just talk about cooking. There are a number of other industries within the game itself. I hinted at winemaking, which seems to be at this point in time in the game, the time of this recording, seems to be the most profitable. But there are other things that you can go ahead and do, that you can go ahead and mine for ore. I'm just kind of running you around the area here. You can have little silk slugs that go ahead and produce silk for you. And I actually got silk fiber out of that one. And that can be crafted into different things and textiles. This is the winery down here, which I actually have working right now on a case of wine. All right, there is also down here at the bottom, there are some trees that you can go ahead and chop down for soft wood and use for wood making. It does take 6 chops to go ahead and cut them down, which is essentially 6 energy. But each one does give you 20 soft wood. You have, just from cutting the big tree down to the stump. You can also cut the stump down. That's your choice. It gives you 16 softwood with 4 chops, I believe, but it also grows back a whole lot slower. So I usually just keep the stumps there so it grows back quicker than what you would what it would happen if you went the other way. Over here, you also have a mine where you can go ahead and click and start that mine and get that rolling, and that'll give you some iron ore. And then over here, you have a chicken coop. Which you can put up to 2 chickens in the chicken coop. You can see I have 2 in there, and every hour it's going to give me 2 eggs. So I went ahead and grabbed that. Here is the wood working bench, which will allow you to go ahead and craft that soft wood that you had there. And again, as you level up each of these types of things, or each of these types of industries, the gathering, like the mining, the wood crafting, and stuff like that, not the wood crafting, the lumber, that's gives you a potential drop of higher rarity items. And then up here you have the honey for the beehive, which is incredibly important for the wine making, which I mentioned is a big focus early in the game, especially from a profit perspective. Coming back down here, I wanted to talk just a little bit more about the energy, since it's such a big challenge early in the game. You start out with 800 energy. You use it pretty quickly as you're farming. You can get it back through a number of different ways. The first way you get back is just being in game, and you get just a trickle of it back. It comes back very slow just from sitting in the game itself. Your other options are you can eat food, energy drinks, food, things that we just crafted. You saw the pie, that'll give you some energy back. And then the main way you're going to get energy back is if you come in here to the sauna. There's 2 ways in the sauna. If you are a free-to-play player, you can go up here in the sauna, sit in here for, I believe it's roughly about an hour or so, and you get 240 energy back through that. But it's once every 24 hours, and you must stay logged in this little pool and just sit there and work on other stuff. So it can be on a different screen in the background, and get that energy back. If you're VIP, and this is one of the main reasons I did grab the VIP, is every 8 hours you can go up here to the sauna and you can go ahead and get 400 additional energy. You cannot get that in free to play. This area is locked if you don't have the VIP, but this, you can go ahead and get additional energy that way. Again, those are the main ways you're going to get energy. It's how they kind of limit, so you can't just keep grinding nonstop of the game. So be aware of that. The energy is going to be your biggest sticking point going into this. So that's really the game as an overview. The main goal of this, I guess, this chapter 1, they're calling it, is really to level up your skills. If you have land, go ahead and build up your land with tier 1 workstations and things like that. And then kind of just get your grounded as far as the different things that you can go ahead and do in the early game. My goal for the next, I guess, couple of weeks would be to go ahead and grind these levels up in preparation for chapter 2. So that kind of leads me into what are my thoughts of the game overall. Starting with some of the cons, energy, like I've said multiple times in this video, is hard. It's hard to manage, especially early game when you're trying to level up. As you get higher level, it gets a little bit easier with some of the things that you can go ahead and use as you're continuing to just upgrade and level up. The other big thing I don't like is the grind with the cooking. It's painful. It takes a while. So if you don't have a lot of time, it's really hard early game to be able to go ahead and level that up. Is it needed? Not necessarily. You don't necessarily need cooking, but they always say the trifecta is cooking, farming, and winery. At least right now, that's the meta within the game. So it does get grindy, and it's a little tough early. Like I said, I only have level 7 cooking, and it's taken me a couple days to get there. The farming is also grindy just because of the energy you can't have or you don't have early game. But as you get higher tier farm products that you can go ahead and plant, it gets easier. And then winery actually just seemed to be the easiest one for me, as long as you have some coin to go ahead and use it in the market. And just to show you the market as I'm going through here. So those are my cons about the game. Positives about the game, it feels like an upgraded Sunflower Land to me. That's my personal opinion. Some people might argue with that. This is the marketplace in here where you can buy and sell. You do need a certain amount of reputation in order to do that. You 500 reputation. You get it instantly with VIP or with if you're free to play, you got to go through a number of quests in order to get it. You got to connect your Discord to the game, things like that, which will earn you VIP. Not VIP, they'll earn you the reputation so you can go ahead and use the marketplace. So that's another way to get it. Or you can go ahead over to Hazel. And with the orders, I do have a plugin that I'm using. With the orders, you can go ahead. Again, I'm using the Pixel Game Assist, so it pops up every time I go over to orders. With the orders, you can go ahead and get or sell different items depending on what she is looking for. Like you can go ahead and sell 10 of these pop berries for 100 until you can get the reputation in place to go ahead and use the market. So will I keep playing it? Yeah, I think I will. I have a 3-month VIP, so I'll at least be playing for 3 months, testing it out, trying different things. I want to see how chapter 2 comes into place, because in chapter 2, what I'm hearing is the spec of land you can upgrade. If you're not familiar with the spec of land, if you go up here to land, you can actually buy a spec. It's 100 coins, so it's rather cheap to go ahead and buy a spec of land. And then right now it's very minimal. So I'll go ahead and show you my spec of land. I haven't put any work into it. This is the spec of land that's minimal. You can put some farm plots on there. I think it's 4 plots. So it's very limited right now, but here in chapter 2, they're going to make it much more robust, where you can go ahead and level up your land, size it up, put a bunch of stuff on there. So I'm looking forward to that. So I'm excited for this. I get the hype around it. It's fun. It's addicting. It's also simple enough that it's easy to understand within the first session that you're playing. So let me know down in the comments below. Are you playing Pixels. Any tips that you want to go ahead and give the rest of the audience or the community as far as how you've been going and what's helped you out throughout the game. And I'll go ahead and probably do some additional videos on this. I hope you all have a great day, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.